All right, Rafa here, Boricua. So we're going to be talking about 5 fragrances that you definitely need to add to your collection. Um, these are also the ones that I wore this week. One, two, three, four. Well, let's just say that out of all these, there was one that kind of surprised me. Something in a negative, kind of negative. Stay tuned. All right, first and foremost, if you guys would subscribe to the channel that I can keep this going, let's start. Monday, I went with Cassar Royale, or Royal, I don't know how you would say that. This is one of those that not a lot of people talk about. I can tell you right now that it smells great. It's a very mature marine aquatic, not for younger guys. This is more for, I'm gonna say 30 above. You got your shit together and you want something that's going to be a blue aquatic. It has a woodsy dry down, definitely not cloying it for the heat, because I wore it Monday and I can't remember if I reapplied. Yes I did I reapplied, but I didn't need to, but I did because it just smells freaking awesome. So look it up. It's not expensive. Super cool looking bottle. Cassar or SAR, I don't know how to say that. Royal. Tuesday. Now this was the biggest shock of the week. Anyway, this is by Grandeur Elite. This is Shooting Star or Shooting Stars. This is their take on LV's City of Stars. Now, I can't remember if people were talking about this one or the Louis Vuitton, saying that this was feminine, I did find one guy that said it was unisex, and then I started reading the notes, and then I found it at chucheriaspr.com. Price was awesome. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get this. And let me tell you. If you want a unbelievably citrusy ginger, slight peppery with, I'm picking up some neroli in this thing that it's gonna project and it's gonna last. You guys don't have to trust me. This is unisex, but to me it leans masculine because of all that citrus and ginger. Now, Tuesday, we had to do security at the voting polls. We were there from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Some of the guys stayed later. I left my house at about 6:40 in the morning, so I applied this. It was like 6:15, maybe 6:20, something like that. That's why I didn't do a video today, because I had to leave so early. I did not reapply. I didn't have. I wasn't able to. I didn't get to come home for lunch. This thing lasted 12 hours. I'm not exaggerating. You can believe me or no. This thing lasted 12 hours. I get home. I took off my shirt. It still was lingering in the shirt. In the skin, it was an extremely faint skin scent. When I changed, I came down here. I got on the treadmill. I started sweating, and this thing came out. Granted, when the sweat dried off or whatever, when I got finished, then it was gone. I can stress enough how long-lasting this thing is. It shocked me. I was expecting this to be just your standard freshie that you have to reapply or whatever. No. Go to and another thing. I keep saying chucheriaspr.com. I don't get a dime from them. I don't get any commission. I get none of that shit. I just want you guys to know, if you want something summer for the summer that's gonna kick ass, this right here. I don't know about the LV. I never smelled it. But if that's supposed to be feminine, well, these guys knocked it out of the park, making it masculine. Right here. Right there. You need this in your collection. I don't know where else you can get it. But again, chucheriaspr.com. This is where you gotta get this. Wednesday, I wanted a blue masculine, your Versace type DNA. So I went with Atafa's blue sapphire. Now, this one was the more disappointing of the week. The smell, it smells fantastic. It smells phenomenal. But here's a problem. Wednesday, we were out a lot, and it was hot. It was 88. It got to 92. I know that. Call it my skin, maybe the shirt, my uniform shirt. This, when I started sweating, was not very appealing. It was not funky. It wasn't that, but it was nothing like this. This is very citrusy, blue. This smells fantastic. My suggestion, if you're in the market for something like this is great for the office, great for a closed environment. That you don't have to go out and get sweaty and do law enforcement stuff. This is for the office. You're sitting in your office doing your thing. This is good for that. Again, I don't know if it was my uniform. I don't know if it was me. I don't know, but I soap and I moisturize. I don't know. Never had this before. Never had this happen before. Again, it wasn't something that smelled. Ugh, I was like, what the hell? No, but it was nothing like it was originally. Longevity was also. I got about 5.5 hours. I had to reapply more so that I can get back to that awesome original. When this first comes out of the trigger. Again, it smells fantastic, but on me, when I start sweating, it did not really, you know what I mean? But again, if your job career is in an office setting, by all means rock this thing. This is really good for that. Blue sapphire. All right, Thursday. Now, with that previous example, I wanted something that was very bright, very fresh, very minty. So I went with Aromatics Platine Blanc. This one, outstanding. I did not have to reapply. I did not reapply. I did come home briefly just to fix this about lunch, and then I left again. I did not reapply, and it lasted my entire shift. Granted, when I got home, it was barely a skin scent, but you're looking at 8+ hours. If you want that lemon mint, they call it mint mojito, whatever, fine. But I get a lot of lemon, mint, just awesome. And I think this is supposed to be inspired by Torino 21, maybe. I know that also Hawas Verde goes after the same thing. I'm not interested in Hawas Verde because this is more of what I like, minty. Hawas Verde, I believe, is also minty, but also is greener. And here lately, I've had bad luck with the greener kind of stuff. Like, I'm not gonna name fragrances, but this is good. This is really good. If you can, and this is, I've heard people say also that this is the best of the line. I haven't smelled the new one. What's it called? Frostbite. I haven't smelled it. It's still outrageously priced everywhere, and right now it's almost like people are, when it does come out, people just lap them up and then resell them because they're crazy expensive, and I'm not going to do that. So this is good. Platine Blanc. All right, guys, and before I mention the last one, again, do me a solid and subscribe to the channel. That way I can keep this going for you guys. Let me wipe up the fingerprints in this bad boy. This is a surprise, big time. This was today's by Toomey Atlas. This is such a fingerprint magnet from hell, but you can see it. Yeah, you can see inside. Guys, I said it before, I'll say it again. Today was another day that I was go, 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 go. I did not come home for lunch. I couldn't. This thing lasted my entire shift. By the time I got home, excuse me, it was like 5:20 or something like that. It was pretty much barely a skin scent, but I got the entire shift. This lasted. Don't think because of the name Atlas. Don't think Latafa Atlas. It's got nothing to do with that. I don't even know which one came out first. I could care less. All I know is that when it comes to, let's just say, Atlases, the Latafa one, I can't. It's just not my thing. That seaweed, salt water, it's not my thing. This is very citrusy, very gingery, very fresh, very up. These are making a comeback. I've seen them at popping up on discounters. I got this on a Burlington. I got two other Toomeys. I also got my Burlington, and then they go away for a few months and they come back. So if I was you, I would grab this one. They have another one the other day that I did not pick up. It's Continuum, I believe, but that was gonna be more for the winter. If I see it again closer to winter, I may pick it up. But I think this is going to get better the longer it sits. Again, I bought it 2 days ago. I went in there and I saw it. I'm like, I'm going to get this. And I wore it 2 days later, and it lasted me the entire shift. So, by Toomey Atlas. All right, guys, this is it for now. Again, subscribe, comment, and we'll be talking more this weekend. We got some more stuff to talk about. So, till next time, later.